Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and this is Let's Talk About Arsenal. I haven't been doing this for very consistently for the past few months, to be honest, or maybe in the year. I remember the last time we talk about, or we have a segment in this Let's Talk About Arsenal was back in the derby against Tottenham Spurs at home, which we beat them 3-1. Was it 3-1? Yeah, I think 3-1, not 3-0. I think my thumbnail was a little bit misunderstanding. But you know what? I'm back and I am trying my best to reignite this segment in my channel, which I really do adore Arsenal. I love them to death. But of course, at the same time, I really do want to have like a consistent podcast on the side. I know, it's just basically generally my review on the game or some certain aspects of Arsenal. But again, very subjective. But if you guys are an Arsenal fan, if you guys want to listen to how I think about the game or how the situation it's going in certain topics about Arsenal, feel free to just stay in this podcast while you guys can probably just listen to me. But yeah, again, first season, not first season, new season, and of course, Arsenal. They played against Crystal Palace away from home at Selhurst Park, and we already know how tough it is going to the fact that we are going to play Crystal Palace. The fact that last season, arguably, they were a team where we kind of went on a very bad run of form. Playing against Crystal Palace, we lost 3-0 last season away, and then losing to Brighton at home and losing to Southampton away. And because of Crystal Palace, they kind of destroyed our top four chances. But you know what? We can't really blame the other team for taking us out. But you know what? You gotta give credits to Crystal Palace for playing such a nice game last season around. And honestly, I think Crystal Palace it's a real threat when you go to their stadium and play. And apparently for Arsenal, you know what? Coming to this game, I thought I didn't really have a lot of not very optimistic, to be honest. I know that we beat Chelsea and Sevilla in a total score of 10-0. But again, it's the Premier League. It's always the first game of the season. For some reason, I have no clue why the Premier League decided to put Arsenal as always the first team to play in a new season, especially away from home. Last season, we played against Brentford. Didn't work out. And of course, playing against Fulham away, but of course that game is different because we won 3-0. And the season before that, I think we beat Newcastle away 1-0. Aubameyang with the goal. But coming to today's game, it's completely different. It's a new, I would say, a very exciting season to look ahead. You guys can see we have two new signings who started in today's game, Zinchenko and also Jesus. And of course, we got to talk about Saliba as well, who has gone out on loan for the past 3 seasons and finally making his first competitive debut for Arsenal in after 3 years of signing with Arsenal, which is completely, his performance was out of this world, to be honest. A very, very good performance by him. But of course, later on in this video, I will be pretty much talking about his performance solely. But the way how this video is going to go or how this podcast is going to go is pretty much how I see the game and how I see the game in terms of like tactical wise and just how I see the game in general. But you know what? The first 15 minutes, we were pretty much on board, to be honest. We were pressing. We were dominating in possession. At one point, we had a possession over 65%, and Crystal Palace didn't really have a chance, to be honest. But of course, the main man that you want to talk about in the first half, especially for the first 15 minutes, was probably Gabriel Jesus and Martinelli as well. I think both of these Brazilian players were so good for us. The fact that we were pressing, technical wise, we were so great, and of course at the same time you can see why Pep Guardiola thinks that Gabriel Jesus is probably the best pressing forwards that you can see. And honestly, you can see that he's been pressing. Something that Arsenal was lacking in the last season with Lacazette. Again, Lacazette was reaching in his 30s, and of course, a completely different profile than Gabriel Jesus. And of course, in another video, I will be pretty much talk about the transfertivity, my take on the signings that we made so far. But of course, I'm going to leave that in another video. But in general, Gabriel Jesus, what a baller. There are a few chances where in the first half, of course, I'm pretty sure we all know how Martinelli missed the first goal. I actually missed the first chance. It was pretty much an open goal. But before that, it was Gabriel Jesus who started everything with, like the dribbling, the pressing, the physicality of his game that are being imposed to Arsenal. Tactical wise, it's very, very good in general. Because of him, that's why we created the first chance. But unfortunately, Martinelli, I'm pretty sure it happens, to be honest. When I was watching this afternoon, I thought, oh my god, are we going to have a game where we have tons of chances but we just couldn't convert into one goal? But after that, pretty much nothing wrong with it. And then, of course, a corner came in the 30th minute, 20-something minute, or 19th minute. I forgot when it was scored. I know it was in the first half. But again, Zinchenko, again, a great assist. You know what? He would have had a chance to go for himself. Pretty much nobody marks him for the header. But he decided to actually go on and just put the ball back in the box, to be honest, closer to the goalkeeper, Guaita. And of course, just a lot of scrambling in the middle. Saliba was the tallest guy who jumped, and then Partey, and of course, it fell to Martinelli. Converts that one, 1-0. Again, brilliant start for us. Again, we have been pressing a lot throughout the first half, and then suddenly there is Martinelli right there at the right time. It was too close for Guaita to actually make a fantastic save. But anyway, it was a very good goal. And then pretty much for the last 10 minutes in the first half, where you started to see how Crystal Palace started to press. We didn't really have a lot of chances towards the last 10 minutes. We were allowing Crystal Palace to run into spaces where they somehow pulled a trigger or not. But of course, Aaron Ramsdale, great save by him to deny Edouard's header in the first half. But again, I think in general, there is pretty much, again, a very exciting team to watch. Everybody's pressing, everybody's energetic. It's a team filled with energy and just a very energetic and youthful team. It's something that we all are, as all Arsenal fans, that we love to watch. But second half, and of course at that point, when you watch the Arsenal documentary, Arteta always had the mindset where you want to kill the game as soon as possible, showing no mercy. But in second half, completely different. Crystal Palace regained possession. We were pretty much started to get a little bit sloppy in the middle. We just couldn't really retain. The possession pretty much for the second half, pretty much. But again, Crystal Palace kept pressing and talk about Joachim Anderson, whom I signed from Fulham Carimo last FIFA. Again, very good on the ball, to be honest. He does look like a type of player that was like really tall, but at the same time, his distribution from the back to the wingers, especially to Saha, it's tremendous. The fact that they put on a lot of pressure, especially on the side to Jordan Ayew, to Wilfried Saha, which gives a lot of pressure to Arsenal fullbacks, Ben White and also Zinchenko. A few times where Zinchenko defensive ability seems to be compromising him a lot in that part of the game, where he kind of committed himself too early. At the same time, when you play against Jordan Ayew, again, a very physical winger, striker, it bound to happen, to be honest. But you know what? Good, just a very, very good recovery by Arsenal defense in general. Ben White, honestly, I know there are quite a few fans of Arsenal kind of was battering him. The fact that how he handled Ben White, but the fact that um, pretty much Ben White did a very good job. I would say he did a very, very good job against Wilfred Saha. It was only one chance where the ball was pretty much all over everybody, and Saha's going to get it nonetheless. But Ben White decides to just pull his shirt. He got booked for that, which is completely all right. You know what? You would never know. If you don't book him, you would never know what would happen on the other end. But in general, yeah, second half, we were at one point we looked kind of go back to the same form as last season, where it's like it's unplayable. We were playing ourselves, but thank God it kind of worked out in the end. We just need a little bit of luck, and of course, in the 85th minute, Saka scored, but of course it's. I believe it was one of the defenders who deflected off Saka's cross. And turns out it was a 2-0 in the end. But again, a very, very good game overall. Just a great way to start the season. But again, you gotta go for the player's rating, not the rating. I wouldn't necessarily want to do a rating, but just talk about individual player in general. So first, we gotta talk about Ramsdale again. A couple of good saves, to be honest, but his distribution. I think there was a chance or two where he was trying to play from the back, but got caught by his poor cross or poor passing. But thank God it didn't really convert to a goal. But honestly, in general, Ramsdale has a pretty commanding game. A little bit sloppy, but in general, a very positive start for the season. For of course, our new number one as well. And right back, Ben White again. I said it. Did a very good job against. Put a very good performance up against Wilfred Saha. Unfortunately, he just got booked with that tiny little mistake. But in general, a very, very good game by Ben White. But we gotta talk about this main guy, William Saliba, very top, good sensation. That's his quote. And of course, this guy is just again 21-year-old, came back from loan, and of course there's speculations where we are not going to see him ever in an Arsenal shirt after Marseille went into the Champions League. And of course, everybody wants to play in the Champions League, but there's something about Saliba that just I don't know how to describe, but he somehow made a comeback and decided to prove everybody, who he really is as a footballer and how good he is. And today, it reflects his pretty much a Premier League experience, and even I believe Gary Neville described him as a young Rio Ferdinand, which is what you know he is a top G. You know William Saliba is going places for sure, and of course just top performance by him. Definitely man of the match. 10. I think I'll give him 10 out of 10, even though it's not quite of a rating a number thing, but in general a very, very good player. In general, he's very calm on the ball, to be honest. I don't see him panic when he was under pressure, when he was getting pushed, when he's getting pressed by Crystal Palace. But again, aerial duo, sliding tackles, everything was just top notch, to be honest. It feels like he has been in the Premier League for so many seasons. But again, he shows why he is he can be one of the best center backs in this season. But again, I think this performance today, he is way better than Gabriel. And next player is Gabriel. Again, there's some solid part. Again, of course, there's one play where he was trying to clear the ball and instead it kind of went to Ramsdale direction. Thank God it was a foul in the end, but it would have been gone horribly. But again, I believe Saliba's and also Gabriel's partnership can be crucial for our top 4 fight in this season. But Gabriel, again, a very good performance by him. Zinchenko, again, you can see how technical he is as a player. Defensively, yes, he has been compromised a few times, but offensively and the way how he controlled the ball, his passing, his runs and stuff like that, or again, that's why Arsenal signed him. 35 million for him is a very good price as well. A Premier League proven winner, and coming to Arsenal. And of course, I know a lot of fans or a lot of Premier League fans are just media saying that we signed all the Arsenal Man City rejects, but I certainly do not think of Zinchenko as a reject. Again, a solid performance, solid competitive debut by Zinchenko. Thomas Partey, and this guy was pretty much, he was in the last season, the last fixture that we played against Crystal Palace. Of course, he was injured and he was subbed off. And today again, he produced another good performance as well. But of course, not his best, because there are certainly a few passes, a few tackles, a few follow through or follow up just weren't quite clean, and losing possession in the middle. But honestly, I feel like, again, he did a very nice job in the middle. Granit Xhaka, of course, there is a limitation in Granit Xhaka's game, to be honest. His approach to the game as well. When you want a truly natural number 8, there are a few moments where I believe he would have, if it was a different number 8, for example, if it was Yuri Tillemans, it would have been a different result. He could have produced a much different outcome than Granit Xhaka. But again, Granit Xhaka, he is not the quickest, but again, intelligent wise as a footballer, he is the smartest on the pitch, arguably the smartest player on the pitch as well. But unfortunately, the funny thing is the fact that, he got booked for diving. And this is another inconsistency of Premier League, referees are pretty much. I'm pretty sure it was the same display. This play earlier was I believe it was a dive on one of the Crystal Palace player, but then on the other hand, when Granit Xhaka, dove, and turns out it was a yellow card. But you guys can see how, it's just an agenda against, Granit Xhaka, which is completely foul at this point. I'm not even surprised to see that. But you know what? Granit Xhaka has a very solid game. And moving on to Bukayo Saka. I think he has a very underwhelming performance. Pretty quiet on the right-hand side until you guys can see that in the first 30, 40 minutes, or even in the first half, we kind of shift everything to the left side, to Martinelli's side, and definitely it pays off again. But on Bukayo Saka's side, doesn't really produce as efficiently as we thought it would be. But of course, you got credit to him for actually a very good cross that led to an own goal. And that was probably the moment of the game that he shined. And Martin Odegaard, this is a very tricky one, because honestly, if you ask me one who has a poor performance or the poorest performance, I think Martin Odegaard, it's probably up there. Again, it seems like this game, it's not for him, to be honest. I believe even the commentator said that. It feels like Martin Odegaard should be subbed out, sooner than later. There are so many chances where, in general, a more attacking midfielder could have taken the shot. For example, the one where Jesus won the ball, pressed the ball, and he crosses in the middle to Martin Odegaard. I thought he was going to score, touch and score, but he decided to feed it off to Martinelli, and turns out it was a wasted chance. And in that moment, when you're 1-0 up, you can't really play very safe. And in that situation, I think Odegaard was playing very, very safe there, but I decided to trying to find a much better option instead of him going by himself. But honestly, I wouldn't even be mad at him if he take a shot. If somehow it got saved by the goalkeeper, fine, because at least you make an attempt to score the second goal. But again, it's embedded into Odegaard's game. It's the fact that he's like Mesut Özil, when there are times where you can just shoot, make something happen, but Odegaard decided to pass for a much safer option. But in that situation, it wasn't a safer option. But I think in general, Martin Odegaard didn't really have the greatest game of his life. And I think it's totally fine, because honestly, not every game you're going to be putting like a 10 out of 10 performance. Of course, there are a few moments in the game where I do believe Martin Odegaard did shine, but of course, you will somehow a performance can always be outshined by anybody in the team or of the match day. Martinelli, again, a very good performance as well. It for some reason within the span of 3-4 months, he improved a lot. The fact that, of course, I know a few fans are going to talk about how he always, every time when he got the ball, when he's in control of the ball, he would just look down, not really looking up, looking for options. But today, he is a completely different player, keeping possession, good dribbling. I believe he dribbled past a lot of, especially, I think it was it Klein? I think Klein was playing as a right back for Crystal Palace. Literally, he couldn't really mark Martinelli throughout the whole game. But honestly, Martinelli a very good game as well, and of course a good goal at the same time too, and he became the first goal scorer in the 2022-2023 season in the Premier League. And Gabriel Jesus, again, a very positive debut for sure. Definitely in the first half, he definitely did shine. The fact that he dribbled past a lot of players. I remember one of them said it's a nutmeg, but unfortunately he couldn't really get a goal. But I feel like he single-handedly changed the whole complexity, the whole tide of the game in the first half, where he just gives you a lot of he just produced chaos on the other side of the pitch, to be honest. And of course, he is very unpredictable, which you definitely do love that. But of course, I definitely do want to see him more to score more goals in general. But other than that, his contribution off the ball and on the ball was fantastic, to be honest. And of course, he got subbed out eventually, which it's very understandable. But again, a top-notch performance by Gabriel Jesus. Next game we're playing against Leicester City next Saturday, Vancouver time. I believe it was in the morning, 8:30. I'm excited about that game as well. But at the same time, Leicester City it's trying to offload a few players from now to the end of the transfer window. I'm a big fan of Yuri Tillemans for years, and I really do hope that Arsenal is going to get him as soon as possible, or maybe after the Leicester game, to be honest. And of course, the two substitutes that I forgot to mention. Eddie Nketiah, again, he got an assist, I believe so, but again, I'm pretty sure Gabriel Jesus was tired at one point. So putting a more energetic, a fresh leg up front to press Crystal Palace defense is a must, and I think it did pay off because, it just happened. You know what? Because of Eddie Nketiah's, assist, kind of changed the whole tide of the game. And Kieran Tierney again. Ooh, this guy, you just he can't really catch a break in terms of injury, but right now, Zinchenko is definitely a much clearer choice for me in terms of starting. Again, Kieran Tierney, again, a good substitution as well. He is a more defensively minded player at the back, so it gives a lot more solidarity at the back end, which is completely valid in terms of subbing him in. And of course, Samuel Lokonga came on for the last minute or two, and of course he forced it in a foul, which is which is good, to be honest. But that's how we ended the game, 2-0. Very good game, very good start of the season. I'm pretty sure right now, at this time when I'm recording this, I'm sure Arsenal is at the top of the table. Right now I can say stop the count. I want to win this season. But my prediction for this season has to be top four, no matter what. You know what? Either winning FA Cup or Europa League, it's also a must as well. Arsenal has all the top quality players that they have. There's no excuse for them not to reach that goal achievement for this season. But that's about it for me. And before we go, I'm gonna drop my Twitter account at the screen below or at the description below. be sure to follow me if you guys are an Arsenal fan or just football fan in general. I honestly, once in a while, I do put up my thoughts. My thoughts on Arsenal in general, even in the game, transfer activity, blah blah blah. I'm gonna be there. I'm quite active there, to be honest. I check my Twitter account at least twice in an hour. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, a new segment of my channel. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in a bit.